In this video, we're going to uncover 5 everyday places where seniors are quietly being watched, tracked, and recorded. These are things many older adults never think about, because for most of our lives, our homes and personal devices felt private. But today, technology has changed that. I'll walk you through each one step by step, in plain language, so you can understand exactly what's happening and what it means for your privacy. And before we get started, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed a device, maybe your TV, your phone, or even a smart speaker, reacting when you weren't using it? If you've ever had that happen, share it in the comments. Your story might help someone else realize they're not alone. Point 1. Smart TVs, the guest in your living room. Let's start with something almost every home has, the television. For most of us growing up, a TV was simple. You turned it on, changed the channel, and maybe adjusted the volume. That was it. But today's televisions, the so-called smart TVs, are nothing like the ones we used to know. They're not just screens anymore, they're powerful computers that connect directly to the internet. And with that connection comes tracking. Here's what many seniors don't realize. Your smart TV often records details about what you watch, how long you watch it, what time of day you usually watch, and even how often you pause or rewind. It may sound harmless, but all of that builds a digital profile of your habits and routines. In other words, your television isn't just showing you entertainment, it's also quietly studying you. Now let's talk about something even more concerning. Many smart TVs come with built-in microphones and cameras. On the surface, these are meant to make life easier. Maybe you can give voice commands to change a channel, or use video chat with family members right from your living room. But the problem is, these microphones and cameras don't always stay off when you think they're off. In some cases, TVs have been found collecting audio snippets or storing images without the owner realizing it. Manufacturers will often say it's for improving user experience, but the truth is that this information can be sold to advertisers or used in ways you didn't agree to. Think about what this means for older adults. You might be sitting in your living room, talking with your grandkids, sharing personal health details with a friend on the phone, or even discussing financial matters. If your TV's privacy settings weren't adjusted when it was set up, there's a chance some of that information could be stored somewhere far outside your home. It's almost like having an uninvited guest in your living room, someone who listens quietly while you go about your daily life. This is why it's so important to check your smart TV's settings. Turn off voice and camera features you don't use, and limit the data collection whenever possible. For many seniors, just knowing this risk exists is the first step toward protecting their privacy. Point 2. Smartphone apps, the data-hungry companion. Now let's move on to something almost every senior carries these days, the smartphone. For many older adults, the phone has become more than just a way to call family. It's a lifeline. We use it to stay in touch with loved ones, look up directions, play games, take pictures, or even manage medications. But here's the hidden side most people don't realize. With every app you install, you might be giving away pieces of your private life without even knowing it. The biggest offenders are often the free apps. A simple weather app might look harmless, but when you install it, it may ask for permission to track your location, not just once, but all the time. Other apps go even further. They may ask for access to your microphone, your contacts, your photos, or even your text messages. Now ask yourself, does a game or a flashlight app really need to know who you've been calling or where you're standing at this very moment? Of course not. But thousands of apps demand exactly that. The danger is that many seniors don't stop to question these permissions. It's easy to tap accept just to get the app working. But what that really means is you've given permission for constant tracking. This is why you might casually mention something in conversation, maybe a new pair of shoes or a vacation idea, and then suddenly see ads for it everywhere online. It's not a coincidence. Many apps are quietly monitoring what you do, feeding that data into advertising networks, and then using it to target you. Even more concerning is the security risk. Some apps have weak protections, and hackers know how to take advantage of them. I've seen cases where seniors were unknowingly tracked around town just because an innocent-looking app was leaking their location. And with identity theft on the rise, details like your age, your address, and your daily habits can all become tools for scammers. Your smartphone is supposed to serve you, but too often it works the other way around. The apps are the ones in control, quietly collecting information day after day. The good news is, you can fight back. You can review the permissions your apps have, delete the ones you don't use, and stick to trusted sources. By doing that, you make your phone safer, and you take back a little more control of your privacy. Point 3. Public security cameras, eyes on every corner. Now let's step outside the home for a moment. Every time you drive through town, walk into a store, visit the bank, or even just take a stroll down the street, chances are you're being recorded by a security camera. Years ago, these cameras were mostly used to catch shoplifters or record traffic accidents. But today, things have changed in a big way. Cameras are no longer just simple machines capturing grainy video. Many are now equipped with advanced technology that can actually recognize faces, follow movements, and even connect that information to databases. At first, some people might say, well, what's the harm? Cameras keep us safe. And yes, they can help deter crime. But the problem is that surveillance has gone far beyond safety. Modern systems can identify you personally, track where you go, and even log how often you visit a place. Imagine going to church on Sunday, picking up medicine at the pharmacy on Monday, and meeting a friend at the cafe on Wednesday. Without your knowledge, those simple routines could be recorded and stored. The real concern is where this information ends up. Sometimes the footage is owned by private companies, sometimes by government agencies. And here's the troubling part, there aren't always clear rules about how long that data is kept, who can see it, or how it might be used. In some cases, camera systems are even tied to marketing platforms. That means you could stop at a store in the morning, and by the afternoon you're already being targeted with ads connected to where you went. For seniors, this level of monitoring can feel especially invasive. Many older adults already worry about losing independence, and the thought of being tracked just for running errands makes it worse. The idea that your daily routines, grocery shopping, walking the dog, or meeting a neighbor, are being watched and stored can feel unsettling. And the truth is, most of the time you won't even notice the cameras. They're placed high up, out of sight, quietly recording everything. So what can you do? You can't avoid every camera, of course, but awareness is the first step. Understanding that these systems exist helps you make smarter choices about what personal information you share in public and how much you reveal about your routines. You may not be able to control the cameras, but you can control what you say and do in front of them. Privacy isn't just about what happens inside your home anymore, it's also about being mindful of the world watching outside. Point 4. Home assistant devices, Alexa, Siri, and Google listening in. Now let's talk about something many seniors are bringing into their homes, smart assistants like Alexa, Google Home, or even Siri on the iPhone. On the surface, these gadgets feel almost magical. You can ask for the weather, play your favorite music, set a reminder to take your pills, or even call a loved one without pressing a single button. For many older adults, they feel like companions, making life easier and more connected. But here's the part most people don't realize, these devices are always listening. Companies will tell you they only wake up when you say their name, like Alexa or Hey Google. But research and leaked reports have shown that they often misinterpret sounds and start recording even when you didn't mean them to. And what happens to those recordings? Many of them are stored in massive databases. In some cases, company employees actually listen to short clips to improve the technology. That means strangers may be hearing private conversations you thought stayed inside your home. Think about that for a moment. Seniors often talk out loud about very personal things, health concerns, financial issues, or private family matters. You might be in the kitchen talking to your spouse about your medication or discussing money with your children, and without realizing it, those words could be captured. The idea that something sitting on your counter could send those conversations outside your home is unsettling. And it doesn't stop there. These devices are often connected to other smart products, like thermostats, doorbells, or lighting systems. Together, they create a picture of your daily life. They can show what time you wake up, when you leave the house, how long you're gone, when you return, and even how much time you spend in different rooms. Over time, this builds a very detailed map of your routine, a map you never gave full permission to create. Another layer is shopping. If you've ever asked Alexa to order something online, that request is saved. Over time, companies don't just know what you buy, but how you think about buying it. For them, it's valuable information. For you, it's another piece of your privacy slipping away. These assistants can be convenient, but it's important to understand the trade-off. The same devices that make life easier can also turn your home, the one place you expect complete privacy, into a space where you're never truly alone. The key is awareness, knowing the risks, adjusting the settings, and using them carefully, so they serve you without silently recording more than you ever intended to share. Point 5. Online searches, your private diary that isn't private. Finally, let's talk about something that feels the most personal of all, your online searches. For many seniors, typing a question into Google or another search engine feels private, almost like whispering a thought to yourself. You might look up health information, financial tips, travel ideas, or even something you wouldn't say out loud to anyone. But here's the hard truth, those searches are anything but private. Every time you type something into a search bar, it's logged and connected to you. It's tied to your device, your internet address, and often even your personal profile. Companies then use that information to build a detailed picture of who you are, your age, your health concerns, your hobbies, your financial situation, and even your political views. And it doesn't stop with the words you type. These systems also track how long you hesitate before clicking, which websites you choose, how far you scroll, and how quickly you come back to the results page. All of those tiny actions say something about your state of mind, whether you're worried, comparing options, or uncertain about what you're reading. For seniors, this can have serious consequences. Imagine searching late at night for information about memory loss, joint pain, or medication side effects. Within days, you may start seeing ads for expensive supplements, miracle cures, or questionable clinics. The scarier part is that scammers also buy this kind of data, so they can target older adults directly with misleading offers designed to prey on fear. What makes this so unsettling is that your online searches feel like private diary entries. You may believe it's just between you and the computer, but in reality, those entries are copied, stored, and shared with advertisers, data brokers, and companies you've never even heard of. And unlike a diary you can lock in a drawer, this digital record doesn't disappear. Some search engines claim they protect your privacy, but the truth is that most still profit from collecting and analyzing your data. They're not just selling products, they're selling you, your habits, and your private concerns. For seniors especially, who often look up sensitive topics related to health, money, or family, this loss of privacy feels like a betrayal of trust. It's important to understand that while searching online is a powerful tool, it comes with risks. The good news is, there are safer options, like using search engines that don't track your activity or browsing in private mode. The first step is simply knowing the truth, your searches are not invisible, and protecting that part of your life is just as important as locking your front door. Point 6. Your smart home devices and wearables, tracking more than you realize. Beyond TVs and voice assistants, many seniors now use smart home gadgets and even wearable devices to make life easier. Things like smart doorbells, medical alert bracelets, fitness watches, or even connected thermostats seem helpful, and in many ways, they are. A smart watch can remind you to take a walk, a medical alert device can call for help in an emergency, and a smart thermostat can keep your home comfortable without you lifting a finger. But here's the hidden cost: these devices collect detailed data about your daily life. A fitness tracker, for example, logs when you wake up, how long you sleep, when you move, and when you rest. A smart doorbell records every visitor, every package delivery, and even how often you step outside. Over time, this creates a complete timeline of your habits and routines. Now, most companies claim this information is used to improve the service or help keep you safe. And in part, that's true. But the reality is, this data is also extremely valuable to advertisers, insurance companies, and in some cases, even hackers. Imagine if someone could see exactly when you're usually out of the house, or notice patterns about your health and activity levels. For seniors, that information can be misused, to target you with high-priced health products, to raise your insurance rates, or even to exploit you through scams. Another risk is that many of these devices are connected through Wi-Fi, which means if your network isn't properly secured, outsiders may gain access. It might sound far-fetched, but cybercriminals have already used weak security in smart devices to break into home networks. The key point here is not to fear these tools; many of them can genuinely improve your quality of life. But it's important to treat them with caution. Use only the devices you really need. Read the privacy settings carefully. And make sure your Wi-Fi is protected with a strong password. These small steps can reduce the risks while still letting you enjoy the benefits of modern technology. In short, the gadgets that make life simpler can also make your private life more exposed. Knowing that gives you the power to set boundaries and use them wisely, instead of letting them quietly collect more than you ever intended to share. We've now uncovered 6 everyday places where seniors are quietly being monitored: your smart TV, the apps on your smartphone, the cameras in public spaces, voice assistants like Alexa and Google, your online searches, and even the smart devices or wearables you may use around the house. Each of these may seem harmless at first, but together they show us a bigger truth: our private lives are not as private as we once believed. And here's something important: seniors often feel like technology belongs to the younger generation, but don't underestimate yourself. You've lived through changes before, and you can handle this one too. By staying informed, asking questions, and taking small actions, you can protect your independence and your peace of mind. So here's my encouragement to you: don't ignore these risks, but don't be afraid of them either. See them for what they are, take control where you can, and remember, your conversations, your searches, your routines, your life, they belong to you, not to companies or strangers. If this video opened your eyes, I'd love for you to share in the comments one small step you plan to take this week to protect your privacy. It might be turning off a feature, deleting an app, or just talking with a friend about what you learned. Your action could inspire someone else to do the same. Your privacy is valuable, and so are you. Stay aware, stay cautious, and most of all, stay in control.